If the US and the Fed or the Treasury or someone else were to create maybe a digital currency and everything were to go digital and they had complete control over that, do you think that could be the system that solves this, or do you think there would still be these Eurodollar
It would
markets?
be no different. It would be very little different because I said before, people don't realize we've been using a digital currency all along. And I know it sounds like, I mean, how can digital currency sound so 21st century? But as I've been saying, we've been using a digital ledger-based currency since the 30s. People don't realize that that's actually the case. So a central bank digital currency wouldn't represent anything different except for who can actually look at this, this ledger system, who's making book entries. Well, the digital currency is kept by the banking system right now, which, believe me, I'm not a proponent of that. I'm not arguing for it. I'm just telling you that's the way it's been. I don't think we should let banks be the sole source of keeping the ledger, making transactions on it. But I don't think central banks stuffing their way into that so that they can now monitor the ledger solves anything. That just means that they're now able to track what the banking system is doing in a better way than the banking system does. It doesn't actually change the format of the currency. It just gives them more ability to monitor what's actually going on, which, what good is that going to do? They've proven time and again how inept and clueless they are about most of these things anyway. And again, central bank digital currencies are like quantitative easing in the respect that they're not meant to be an actual digital currency. They're not a native digital solution to anything. They're just meant to portray to the public that the central bank is, oh, we're keeping up with the times. See, we've got our own digital currency, when it's not really anything different. So to me, a CBDC is nothing more than QE, which is another magical fairy tale to tell the public to get them to stop asking questions. Doesn't represent much of in terms of a leap forward, as opposed to actual cryptocurrencies, which do represent massive leap forwards, except that they're going through the growing pains of any disruptive technology, which is it's difficult you've got to innovate and figure out what tasks need to be accomplished, how best to do them. And that requires a whole mess of trial and error, which also invites a number of illicit efforts, scams, outright thievery. It is just a huge mess. So we've got digital currencies that actually could represent a way to do things that are not the Eurodollar. I mean, distributed ledger, that's what the Eurodollar is. It's a distributed ledger that's distributed among the banking system, whereas cryptocurrencies are distributed ledgers amongst everybody. So it's in some ways, it's another elegant step in the right direction, or actually a step in the right direction, but it's still, we've got to go through disruptive technology processes, the life cycle of any kind of innovation, and it's going to be messy until some really useful alternative finally emerges from that group, which might not be for some time yet.